It's up to you, New York, New York.
How we doing? Happy Friday. Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on YouTube. I am your host, Richie, here with my guy, Mr. Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco from the Bronx. How you doing, Idris?
Thank God it's Friday. Even though I'm retired, but still.
No,
What
it
up?
feels more like the weekend is upon us or getting closer, so I do share your sentiments. No, happy that well rested. We were thinking about doing a show last night. I know Brett told me that he was in the yard and he just got wasted out there in the heat. I understand. So we'll get Brett on a future show. Book, get at us. I know you've been trying to be on the show, and we keep missing each other. But on today's show, we're going to be hitting on Yankees splitting an ever-important 4-game set in St. Petersburg. Going to talk about Ben Rice, home run derby. Knicks bringing back a familiar face. And we're going to hit you with more NFL hot talks and just have a circular conversation about the NFL as the season is drawing closer. We're going to start with our New York Yankees.
Yes, sir.
Yankees able to split these 4 games, as I already mentioned. Today is the final series for everyone before the All-Star break. The Tampa Bay Rays will be hosting last year's American League runner-ups, the Seattle Mariners, who have actually been playing better ball lately, looking like they're starting to find themselves after a lackluster start to the year. Rays are in first right now with the best record in the American League, but coming off of 2 losses in their last 4 appearances, which means that the Yankees might be able to chip a little bit more into that lead before the break. Yankees are actually heading to the Nats. I need to redo that. They are not hosting them. They are going to be in Washington. But I feel that, especially today, it's a prime opportunity for the Yankees to jump up on this series because of the fact that the Nats are going with a opener in today. This is going to be a bullpen game for the Nationals.
Yeah.
Ryan Weathers on the bump for the Yankees. Definitely a lot of strikeout value.
Yep.
So we'll see.
I like what's going on. It's good that we split with Tampa because, there's a difference between us being 4 games behind and being 8 games behind, And with that would bring Toronto closer to us. As for Seattle, the division is wide open for these guys, man. I mean, the division is wide open for everyone except for the Angels, to be honest with you, because Texas just 1 game up on the 500 column, and Seattle's right behind them, half a game behind. So, and taking it back to the Yankees, as bad as we played over the past, 20 games, we still have the second best record in the AL.
And I'll be honest with you, when you have over 50 wins going into your final series, it's not as bad as it seems. It's just the reason why it feels so terrible is because the slump came, and there's slumps and then there's like big slumps. The Yankees they're still fighting out of it. But you go win 2 out of 3 in Washington or even sweep them.
Yeah.
And let's say the Rays lose 2 out of 3 of the Mariners. You're right where you want to be at the break.
Exactly. I agree 100%. And with Washington, just like the American League East, the American League, the National League East, it's a little tighter, better teams if you compare the two, but Washington's beatable. They're beatable. So I could see us. I don't know. I could see us winning the series, but we'll lose one because we're still not consistent. We come up a good series with the Rays, but we got to still show more consistency. And I need to see us win 3, 4, 5 in a row again. For me to be satisfied, and hopefully the Rays are, take a step back after this, this defeat, this series against Seattle. Seattle's no pushover. They're not a pushover. So who knows?
Yeah, I expect a competitive series. I was on Hard Rock this morning.
Mm-hmm.
The Mariners are actually favored against the Rays.
Yeah.
I have a ticket. You might get a chuckle out of this, where I'm picking the Pirates to beat the Brewers, the Mets to beat the Red Sox, and the Yankees to beat the Nats. I also got the Mariners beating the Rays today. Believe it or not, the last place Mets, although it's excruciatingly slow, are playing a little better. Nolan McLean is starting to reclaim his status as an ace for that staff. And the reason I speak on it, I got him in fantasy baseball in John Olson's league.
Oh, okay.
Ben Rice.
Hey, Big Ben.
I think it's safe to say that he's out of his slump.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's safe to say that he's not just a product of a guy who was benefiting off of a lineup that featured Stanton and Judge. This is a guy that is becoming a bona fide superstar in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm loving it. I think Ben Rice is carrying the team per se, considering Judge is out, Stanton's out. We just got a lot of Knicks and Knacks going on. So, golly, he's doing what he has to do, and I'm glad we have him, because without his bat yesterday, we had a good all around performance, but without his bat, we don't have that big inning. We don't. I don't know. I just think we'll win, but I don't think we'll put the pounding like we did on Tampa Bay yesterday. Shouts out Big Ben. I call him Big Ben. I don't care if they got a Big Ben in Pittsburgh. This is our Big Ben.
Ryan Weathers is fanning at least 6 Nats today. That's my prediction for the game.
I'm going 8.
And I've got Trent Grisham going yard today for the Yankees' lone home run. I got Trent Grisham hitting a homer today. I feel pretty good because baseball is a weird game, and the power of suggestion is a real thing, because you could be suffering going through it, but you end your first half of the year on a high note. That's a few more days. Now, you look at Aaron Judge's situation. Brian Cashman recently said that it's not necessarily going to be a perfect heal this year. It's more about a pain management situation. So I expect Aaron Judge, if I'm being completely honest, to be back no later than August 2nd, which would actually be Thurman Munson Day.
That'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be the perfect day. And to get a win, oh man, that'd be so great. And let's get Thurman Munson in the Hall of Fame too, man. Come on, let's get him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I want Thurman in the Hall of Fame. I want Don Mattingly in the Hall of Fame. I want Shoeless Joe Jackson in the Hall of Fame.
Long overdue, Shoeless Joe. He's
Yes,
a country
indeed.
boy that just got caught up in nonsense, man. He was never a bad guy.
And even though Pete Rose did what he did, he's no longer alive. Get him in there too, and I'll even take it as far as saying that I want, and I've said this in the past, whenever this topic comes up, I'm very strong-minded on it. I want my steroid era guys in there, but certain ones. I want Barry
Yeah.
Bonds in there. I want Alex
Yeah.
Rodriguez in there. I want
Yeah.
Roger Clemens in there.
Yeah.
And not because I commend what they did. It's because common sense tells me that with or without performance enhancers, those guys were terrific players on a next level.
Look, you take Barry Bonds' career at Pittsburgh, he's in.
He was more of a 5-tool player when he was a member of the Pirates.
Right. He's in.
And he was a human bobblehead slamming home runs into McCovey Cove.
Right. He's in. I mean, just based on that, he's in. I say
Dale Murphy is another guy that needs to be in the Hall.
Dale Murphy's overdue, man. He should have been in there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that Dale Murphy is not in the Hall. It's really disturbing, actually. Now, you got the Hall of Very Good. I could understand why a guy like Bernie is kind of tweening.
Yeah.
The reason I'm a big advocate for Mattingly, even though a lot of people feel you need a couple more years to totally get in, is there's very few guys that are not in the Hall that can make claim that they were the best player in baseball for 5 to 6 years, and Mattingly can make that claim.
He can make that claim. It's crazy, man. It's
understand
insane.
that the production, I mean, essentially the dude went from being a 315, 320, 330 guy to more like a 280 guy. So
Yeah.
and the power was gone. 25 to 30 home runs, which was a big deal in that era, was looking more like 8 to 12 home runs. So I understand the numbers. But when you consider the All-Star appearances, the league MVP, the Silver Sluggers,
right,
and the fact that he was the captain of the Yankees in such a dark period, I think
Yes.
it's a no-brainer.
I agree, man. And you know what? I think with the Hall of Fame, let's see with all the Hall of Fames. Let's get these old guys in first. Let's get these guys like Shoeless Joe, Pete Rose. Let's get these guys who had passed on, or some of the guys who are in their later years. Let's get them in the Hall of Fame, man. Don't put them in there when they're passed away. Shoeless Joe, yeah, you get him in there. His family's happy, but this man, come on, man. Pete Rose, we know what he did. Okay, fine. He admitted it. There's people who did far worse, blah, 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 blah. Put this man in the Hall of Fame.
And you know how I feel about Shoeless Joe also because of the fact that Major League Baseball
they profit off of him.
They profit off of the whole thing with the Field of Dreams situation. So
Yes.
that in itself is a bit of a head scratcher, and I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of people that share my sentiments. I'm also going to shout out a former Diamondback, Philly, and Red Sox. While I might not agree with his opinions off the field, and he may flat out be an asshole and be crass, that has
Right.
absolutely nothing to do with what he did between the lines.
Kurt
Kurt Schilling belongs in the Hall of Fame.
He belongs in the Hall of Fame. I don't agree with what he says, but I'm talking what you judge this man by what he did on the field. He could be an ass, like Brett Favre. Off the field, we found out Brett Favre is an ass. He's a whatever you want to call him. But on the field, Brett Favre was one of the greatest of all
And
time.
to be honest with you, a friend of mine, through my other friend, my friend Verna, a mutual friend of her and I, but she's more of a friend of his, fella named Tim, big Eagles fan, former fighter, UFC fighter, former guy.
Oh, word. Okay.
He told me years ago, and I mean years ago, long before the Brett Favre stuff hit the air in the way it has in the last few years, or even his Mississippi mishap. He put me on to a lot of the character stuff with Brett Favre. Now, of course, when you hear something, you take it with caution. Was proven right.
Yeah.
Moving it along, we're going to keep it on the Yankees for a second. Our first baseman, Idris. How do you feel about Ben Rice in the home run derby?
I'm like iffy on it. It's great about him being in it, but I know it's for the fans, and I guess because I done got older, because when I was younger, I mean, I'd like to see him in there, but then again, I like to see him. I don't know, man.
I don't like it, and I'll tell you why.
I don't like that's. Yeah, I don't like it.
It messes up guys' swings a lot, where it takes like a few weeks to get back into the groove
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not
I don't
natural.
like it.
It's not
No.
similar to how you get all these Tommy John issues, and because a lot of these pitchers, they're on display all the way back to like their baseball teams, their
Yeah,
travel teams, etc. Um, I'm just going to keep it a buck. I want an early exit and a bad first round. No knock on you, Ben. I know you want to win it, similar to what
yeah,
Aaron Judge did in 2017. I mean, dude, Judge did it once and he never went
yeah.
back. He won it and he left it alone.
And see, that's how I feel, man. When you're young, in your 20s and younger, you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm the same way. I mean, I would like to see him in it, but I'd rather him not be in it.
Pete Alonso loves this event. That's like his
Oh
jump
yeah,
off.
he's a lifer.
Yeah.
He's a lifer. Yeah, I really don't want to see him in it. It's great that he's in it for the fans, but like you said, it compromises their swing. They got to get back into the groove, but you serving up basically. You just throwing pitches at him, and I'd rather him just stay back.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's his first go around. I get it. It's exciting. He's really become, in a lot of ways, the second face of the organization.
Yeah.
Because when you think about the Yankees, and let's say you exclude Aaron Judge, because we all know who he is. Who are your faces? It's Cam Schlittler, Ben Rice, and Garrett Cole.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
with the MVP consideration this year, the home run derby, he's the starting first baseman for the AL. All of those things much deserved. But I'm more worried about him coming back, focusing, and continuing what he started in the beginning of the year before he hit his own personal slump. But we're going to see how this plays out. Also, one other thing I want to hit on Yankee related before we move it along.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on Anthony Volpe denying to the media that he refused to play second base?
Yeah, I don't believe him.
You don't believe Volpe, right?
Yeah, I don't believe him.
Neither do I. And that could be problematic because we saw what happened with Gleyber Torres when they got Jazz over.
Yeah.
Gleyber wanted no part of moving, and it kind of sealed his fate with the Bombers because the original plan when they had acquired Jazz was that they wanted Jazz to be at second in 24. They wanted Torres to be at third.
At third, right.
Jazz played the good soldier. He really didn't have a choice because he was brand new to the team.
Right, he had no choice, yeah.
But truthfully, if you look at when Jazz became a Yankee, he was much more productive than Torres.
Yeah.
But we shall see. The Yankees still have a lot of imperfections going on, in large part due to the injuries. And all we can do is just weather the storm and hope that we can stay within striking distance. The positive side, and you said this recently, is that with an off year in the American League, the Yankees do have the second best record, similar to last year when they had the second best record, although they were a wild card. One thing I was telling some friends that were a little pooped that they weren't able to get to Tampa to see the Yankees this year, there is a distinct high probability that for the second time ever, the Yanks and Rays are going to play in the postseason. This time, it will actually be in front of fans.
Yeah, right.
So I'll put it to you like this. Expect me to be in the building when the Yankees and Rays play in the playoffs, and I'm looking forward to it. And
well, if it happens, dude, I'm on my way down there. If it happens, I'm on my way down there. We're going to be there together.
Shouts out Jordan Patrick. He sent me a video from MLB.com of the new Rays Stadium that's supposed to be opening up in 2029 in St. Pete. One side faces the water, the other side faces the city. It's got all the amenities. It's a beautiful stadium. I'm looking forward to when that opens up.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that they're staying in Florida, not just because I like to have the local accessibility to watch the Yanks. I mean, I got that regardless because of Steinbrenner Field.
Yeah.
But I respect the Rays. They got a good organization.
Yeah. I do too. I like them because they've done it basically cheap, and they stay competitive, great. Just imagine if they really put money into the thing, into the franchise, into the players. But then again, they've done great with the way they've done it. You know, they remind me of people like San Antonio, how they used to be to sign guys you don't know and build blah 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 blah. Like New England with Tom Brady, they got a bunch of guys and say, "Hey, we're going to do this." And like our Knicks, you know, so I like the way they're doing things down there. I really do. And you know, they're our rivals. I'm not gonna call them our heated rivals because they kind of like punk us most of the time. But you know, I would like to see them win. I don't want to see them beat the Yankees in anything. But if the Yankees didn't win, I'd like to see them do it because I really like that franchise. I just love
going back to the pandemic season.
Mhm.
They ended our season, but it was kind of poetic because Aroldis Chapman headhunted on Mike Brassau
Yeah, that guy.
and hurt him.
Yeah.
And Brassau got him in the postseason. So I'll be honest with you, that was poetic. I did root for the Rays to win the World Series after the Yankees were gone because they played the Dodgers and also because I have really no heat with that organization.
I don't either, man. I don't need. That's why I said I would like to see them win something. Of course, I don't want to see them do that at the Yankees' expense. But you know, I'd like to see them win. I think that's a real good franchise, good ownership, the whole league. You know, and I think they're the type of team, type of franchise that, you know, I'd like to see them win, man. I'd like to see them win.
And they very well may. You know, Kevin Cash is going nowhere.
Oh yeah, he's not.
And I think he has surpassed Joe Madden as the team's best manager ever.
Yeah, he just needs a World Series, but I think he's done great, dude. I think he's done great.
Yeah, and similar to Madden, each of them only won one game of the World Series. The difference is Madden, that World Series was weird because you had like some real inclement weather when they played Philly, whereas in the pandemic series, they had to go to different venues, which completely obliterated any home advantage that the Rays could have had in their games because the Trop is a advantageous place for the Rays to play for a litany of reasons. A lot of people make fun of it. It is a bit of an eyesore, but it has its own bit of culture to it.
You know, it's funny how the Rays and the Colorado Rockies came into the league. You know, the Rockies got a couple, but they not been able to build a winner to where the Rays, God, they've been so great, but they just can't win it.
Yeah, the closest the Rockies got was when they got pounded out by the Sox. Marlins, oddly enough, have the same amount as the Mets as they won 2 of them.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about the Marlins. I don't know why I'm thinking the Rockies. I'm thinking the Marlins.
Yeah, the Rays actually came in with the D-backs.
Yeah, I get those two mixed.
Both in '98 because that was the year that the Yankees had the best record ever. But the Rays actually split with us that year.
The Rays has always been a thorn with us, man. They are that team that will beat everybody. We can go 100 and I don't know 160 and the Rays will beat us. The Rays will beat us. Like,
and the original home run hit by the Rays was by none other than Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs, yep.
Yeah, he left after making the final out in '97. Our only blip during that 4-year run where we had the dynasty, won 3 out of 4. That was against the former Cleveland Indians, who now go by the Guardians. All right, Clarkson, back to the orange and blue. How do you feel about this, Idris? I'm happy.
I'm happy too because he took the minimum $3.6 million, man, for a year. That says he wants to stay. He wants to play. I like it because he knows he's not going to get 30 minutes. He might get 20. He might get 10. He knows that, but he knows he's a piece, and that's what I like about. That's what I like about this team. Everyone knows you have a role. You're not going to be the main man, but they're like, I'm willing to play that part. And Jordan Clarkson, he's a defender. I mean, he could put points up if need be, but he's out there for his defense, and I'm glad he took that minimum to come back. You know, I'm glad he did that because I'm stuttering. I really didn't want to lose him. I had a feeling we would. I was like, we're going to lose Clarkson. But when I saw that he re-signed for a year, $3.6 million, I said, good.
Yeah, I'm happy he returns. It appears that the last point of emphasis for Leon Rose gearing up for the new season and the title defense is going to be to find a third center. And there's a lot of ways you can go about that. You can search the scrap heap for 10-day contract guys and see if they fit into your locker room. You can also make a trade. And if we go the trade route, obviously you're going to dump some of those picks that you acquired to get under the second apron.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking about a player currently on the roster, I think Deuce McBride is the only logical one that would be moved for the sheer fact that with Clarkson coming back, you're bringing back Alvarado, you're bringing back Shamit, and one would think Tyler Kolek is going to possibly have an expanded role. The reason why Deuce is the logical guy to trade, even though I like Deuce, you're talking 12 points per game off the bench. You're talking a very affordable contract to whoever takes him on. Yeah. And Deuce is a good player, and he's another guy that's been with the Knicks. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's the longest tenured now that Mitch has got.
He is.
But I'm not saying that we got to trade him, but it might be the logical way to go.
Yeah, I agree. The great thing about our team is we can lose a player and we can upgrade. I hate that we all hate that we have to lose a certain player. Like, I think
you want to keep everybody in a perfect world.
Yeah, I like Deuce McBride. I like Tyler Kolek. But, you got to do what you got to do to upgrade the team. And they know it's a business. We know it's a business. And, like, I hated to see Mitch go, and I'm like, hey, he did his job for us. We're grateful for him. We move on. And when I saw we signed,
mention the new sniper that we picked up in the draft too. So
exactly.
he's gonna that's a quick release right there.
And the fact that we picked up Andre Drummond, a hometown guy, Mount Vernon, New York, and he can shoot the three. He's a better free throw shooter. He's a good rebounder. He may not be the defensive guy Mitch was, but people don't realize Mitch was a damn good defender. But
and I got to address this on the air. I already addressed it in the comments from our last show or a couple of shows ago where we spoke about why DeMar DeRozan possibly could have fit. The Knicks were definitely considering a mid-level exemption for the services of LeBron James. Now, LeBron's agent made it rather clear, Rich Paul, that if the Knicks didn't win the championship, it would have been a little more of an easy fit for LeBron to come over.
Yeah.
Now, of course, LeBron hasn't made his decision yet. It could be Philly. It could be Cleveland. It's not going to be Golden State. It could be Miami. We'll find out soon enough. You feel it's going to be Cleveland. I feel it's going to be Philly, so we'll see how it plays. But to the comment, this person, Shirley, whatever, was like, why is it that every time an NBA player hits free agency, somebody in the public thinks that they're a perfect fit for the Knicks? It just shows how much you don't know ball.
Right.
So she basically said, I think it's a she, said, let Leon Rose do his job. So my reply was, Leon Rose has done a phenomenal job staying under the second apron. And me sharing my opinion on the show, and yes, he was being considered for a mid-level exemption, similar to what they were considering with LeBron. It's also a little easier to bring in a guy that already knows the system and a guy that is already satisfied with his role, whereas DeRozan, it would be a little bit of a shock to the system.
Yeah.
But the point is, me or Idris or anybody on the show sharing our opinions does not prohibit Leon Rose from doing his job.
Right.
And to take it a step further, Leon Rose is doing basically what he's allowed to do because James Dolan didn't want to mess with the second apron.
Right. Exactly.
Moving it along. Happy trails, Patrick Ewing. I'm really happy that the Hoya Destroyer was able to get a ring as a member of the New York Knicks, as an ambassador. He's going back to his second passion after playing the game, which is coaching, as he makes another stop in Washington. Some may remember that Pat was actually a member of the Washington organization towards the very end of Michael Jordan in Washington.
And he played at Georgetown.
Yes, he did. Played at Georgetown. He's got roots there. He also was an assistant with the Orlando Magic and did a great job helping Dwight Howard. Pat, you're the best. You're always going to be a Knick, and it doesn't matter. You have to continue your career in a perfect world. Of course, I'd love for you to be on the Knicks staff. I think you could do wonders with any and all big men. But good luck to you, Patrick, and just really happy that you and all the guys from the old school Knicks were able to be a part of this phenomenal run.
I'm happy for him too. I have nothing. I have no ill will towards Patrick Ewing. He's been a member of this organization for 30 years or so. He's been classy the whole lick. You know, he was there with the team all the way to the end. And he's always a Knick. You know, I know he's playing with, he's working with Washington, but there's no ill will. I mean, this is a job for him, a chance to get back into the league, coaching. So I can't be mad at him,
No, there's
I'm
nothing to be mad about. And
no, I'm happy for him. He got his ring. Well, not his ring, but he got his validation. He got a chance to hoist the trophy, and I'm pretty sure they gave him an honorary ring. Or they're going to give him an honorary ring.
It's not even honorary. He's part of the organization.
Right. So hey, you're right. You're right. So
the thing is, it's poetic because he never got the chance to play the Spurs because it's been long debated that if Patrick Ewing doesn't tear his Achilles in Game 1, a game that he miraculously played through, finished, and produced in Indy at the old Market Square Arena. That was a huge tone setter for the Knicks to win that series, despite Ewing only playing that one game. But, that was heartbreaking for Ewing, seeing the Spurs win. And the Spurs were not exactly the Spurs yet. There was no Tony Parker. Avery Johnson did hit the dagger. Very young Tim Duncan alongside David Robinson. Sean Elliott was on that team as well. Robert Horry was on that team, I believe.
Yep.
And it was a very winnable series. All the games are close.
Yep.
But, Allen Houston could only do so much. Latrell Sprewell playing with a broken metatarsal. Larry Johnson, chronic back issues. Chris Dudley, no match for Robinson and Duncan. Marcus Camby did his best, but it just wasn't enough. But one would believe that if Patrick Ewing was able to participate in that series, perhaps it's a different result. We'll never know, but it's happy to see the full circle moment. And then, of course, Rick Brunson was a member of that team as well. So happy ending for a lot of guys that fell short.
Yeah.
Got some NFL hot takes and questions. I'm going to start here, and then I'll bounce it to you. NFL teams that will make a surprise impact this year. Some might laugh at me, but I'm going with the Tennessee Titans, and I'll tell you why. You got two embattled, failed coaches from MetLife Stadium in Robert Saleh, head coach, Brian Daboll, OC. Jets and Giants, respectively, their previous stops. I really like this receiving room that Cam Ward gets to play with right now. Daniel Bellinger, I believe, has his best season since his rookie campaign. You bring in Wan'Dale Robinson, who's really coming into his own. You go to OSU and you get Carnell Tate, and you still have a reliable running back in Tony Pollard.
Yep.
I think that this offense is going to make some leaps. You also still have Calvin Ridley in that receiving room, another talented guy. And if the defense can be mid-tier, they don't even have to be elite. If the defense could be mid-tier, the Titans are going to be a lot of these 50-50 games in the division, playing Indy, playing Jacksonville, etc. Houston is the favorite in that division with good reason because they have the best defense in the NFL, or at least I think they do. But C.J. Stroud is a question mark. I think even if they don't make the playoffs, these Titans are going to make a considerable leap forward and show that they are improving.
I agree. I don't think it's far-fetched, man. I think with Brian Daboll, he didn't do good as a head coach, but we've seen flashes of what he can do as an offensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
And I think with Cam back there, and Cam, I look at Cam as a guy. He just seems like someone who wants to learn, who wants to do his thing. And I think Brian Daboll's going to make this guy better because he looked good last year, considering.
I mean, he's got a good track record with helping QBs because he got the best out of Daniel Jones in 2022 prior to Jones having his best overall season this year at Indy before the unfortunate injury. And we all know what he did in the beginning of Josh Allen.
Right. So I'm confident in Tennessee. I think they're going to be tough. Like I said, I don't think they'll win the division. They may not make the playoffs, but I think they will make a big jump. And that defense with Robert Saleh, because I felt in New York he didn't get a fair shake. I think he was up against Brett Favre and all this other stuff, and I think they screwed him over. I really do. I think he could have done more, but I think now he has a chance to really. He has a young team. He has some offensive minds. He got some defensive minds. I mean, they're going to build this team, dude. Tennessee's going to be coming soon.
Yeah, I think Tennessee, I don't think they're necessarily a playoff team this year, but in the South, you never know because let's say if CJ Stroud continues to have issues, maybe Davis Mills, assuming he's still on the roster, maybe Davis Mills competes with him. You don't know what's going to happen in Indy for the sheer fact that Daniel Jones has not been able to stay healthy. Yeah. And Trevor Lawrence, although Jacksonville's coming off a solid year, Liam Cohn's first year as head coach, Trevor Lawrence has had a propensity for being up and down. So I think that Tennessee has as good a chance as anyone to compete in that division.
Yeah, I still don't have any faith in Trevor Lawrence, man. I didn't have any faith in him coming out of Clemson. I think he's a good quarterback. I really do. I just don't think he's gonna be that quarterback people thought he would be. I think he'll be a very good quarterback in this league. I think he'll stay there, but I just haven't seen it yet. And until I see it, I don't have that much faith in Jacksonville. I think they'll stay where they are until he makes an advancement or they do a QB change. I don't think they're gonna do a QB change, but I'm just saying,
Now I've got a question for you here, Idris. Any other team that hasn't been to the playoffs in a while, or maybe just last year hasn't been to the playoffs, but somebody that's going to make a legitimate leap forward this year, in your estimation?
I really don't see anybody. My only one would be Tennessee, man. I don't think they'll make the playoff. I think they'll make a big jump. I think Arizona will be better. No playoffs or nothing like that, but I think they'll be better.
Yeah, in that division, it's so hard for them when you consider that they got 6 games against the Rams, Niners, and Seahawks. But Jeremiah Love, I think, he's going to have a hell of a rookie year. You got, in my opinion, the best tight end in pro football right now in Trey McBride.
Yeah,
what's the defense going to look like? I'm still not convinced.
That's the thing. I think the defense is going to Minnesota. I think we talked about Minnesota last week, but I think Minnesota makes a jump, and like I think you said they'll win the division. And I'm going to go with it. I think they'll win the division this year.
That's my way too early hot take. That I think Kyler Murray is going to resurrect his career, and I think he's got the right amount of toys there. And he's got the right quarterback coach to get him to the next level.
Exactly. That's the main thing.
And with Green Bay having some off the field issues with Josh Jacobs, you got Micah coming off that severe injury.
Yep.
Matt LaFleur, after the disappointing loss in the playoffs, definitely hot seat rising if they hit some turbulence. The Detroit Lions, similar.
Yeah.
Nah,
okay.
The Detroit Lions, similar to the Packers. Dan Campbell's going to be under some pressure as well.
Okay, you see.
And the Chicago Bears, I think Caleb's the Madden cover guy this year. That's already not a good sign. No. And are the Bears going to take a step forward? They lost some key cogs. I'm not sure. I just have a funny feeling Minnesota's going to win this division this year.
You know what? Let's take a side trip right quick. Who do you think, because you alluded to it, who do you think are three coaches who are on the hot seat this year?
Well, Matt LaFleur for sure.
Other than Aaron in the Jets.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn goes without saying.
Yeah, other than him, because I think he's a dead man walking.
I tend to agree. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Sirianni. If the Eagles don't have the kind of year that they're used to, and keeping it in the division, you mentioned this last show, Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I think Dan Quinn's on the hot seat. I think he's on I think his seat is like they got the fire under him.
No question
I
about
think
it.
he
Dan
got
Quinn
fired.
definitely on the hot seat.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know.
My come up team in the NFC, and I think it
Hmm.
might have slipped your mind because I remember you sharing these sentiments on the show not too long ago.
Hmm.
It's way too early, and we're going to do our detailed division previews next month. But I got the New Orleans Saints winning the South.
Me too. Me too. Me
Tyler
too. Because
Shuck
what I
is going
see,
to continue to, you know, add on to what he did last year. A lot of people felt that if he was healthy in college, he was right up there with Shador and Cam, those
yeah,
kind of characters, ahead of Jackson Dart if he would have been healthy, etc.
yeah,
I like,
I'm with you.
and Pittsburgh's an interesting one. I love the Michael Pittman pickup. I love the Rico Dowdell pickup. So
Yeah,
their
that right
running
there
back
is
room,
insane.
and their receiving room gets much better. We already know they have a very good defense. They have a great kicker in Boswell.
Hmm.
I'm not going to call him a great coach, but they have a sturdy coach in Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers running it back for probably the final year. He reunites with the one guy that got him to the Super Bowl, and I say to myself, is Aaron Rodgers going to shock the football world and have one last year of greatness?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think if he stays healthy, I believe so because the one thing about he knows Mike McCarthy's offense. He knows
Absolutely.
Mike McCarthy's offense front and back. And Mike McCarthy knows like I gotta succeed here. I got booted out of Green Bay. I got booted out of Dallas. And although he had winning records in Dallas, he just couldn't get over the top. But I think that's Jerry Jones. So I know he knows I gotta do something now. I'm one of the most landmark franchises. They don't fire coaches. They're gonna give me this. They're gonna give me this line. I have to continue the Chuck Knowles. The I can't think of his name. I
Mike
got his face
Tomlin
in
and
my
Bill
head.
Cowher.
Yeah, I was trying to think of Coward. Yeah, Tomlin. Four coaches in this is the fourth coach in the Super Bowl era for this current franchise. So he knows they're going to give me the rope. I can't hang myself. So I think with that, it wouldn't be surprising if him and Rodgers are talking like right now. Look, we got to do this. I think this run for Rodgers may not be a Super Bowl, but I think he's going to show people, look, hey, I'm riding off into the sunset. Let you know this is what I can do. I think he's going to have a
Brian
damn good
Shed.
year.
Brian
Mm-hmm.
Shed in the comments. G-Men
Shit,
should be much
shit.
improved. I like the Panthers to repeat the division. I have mixed feelings on the Panthers.
I think they lost too
Um,
much,
I
man.
think Chuba Hubbard is going to have a monster year fantasy wise, and he deserves it because he's been a staple with that team going back to CMC. A guy that's always been able to step up when called upon. I really like the New Orleans defense, and I really like the New Orleans receiving room. I think Jordan Tyson is going to be a phenomenal compliment to Chris Olave. And
Yeah.
I also love the combination of Kamara and Etienne.
Well,
I probably still didn't
let's
say it right.
let's change his name. His name is not Etienne.
Etienne.
It's not that either.
Damn it. It's going
I
to be
think he
like week
said.
7. I'm going to be calling him Travis E.
I think he says his name is pronounced almost like Etienne or like
Etienne.
Etienne, just like
Man, Book got me on that good, man.
we need Book on the show because he's our translator. He's our
Yeah, yeah,
Louisiana
yeah.
translator.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Shed thinks the Giants are going to be much improved. I share Shed's sentiments. I'm just trying to do my best to be passive with the Homer hat. I have the Giants finishing second in the NFC East, Shed, behind the
Mhm.
Dallas Cowboys. Way, 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 way too early predictions. I've got the Dallas Cowboys hosting your 49ers in round 1, as I've got the 49ers as the 7 seed this year. I've got the New York Giants as a 6 seed this year, traveling
Mhm.
to Minnesota for a first round matchup with the Vikes. And I've got the New Orleans Saints as the 4 seed hosting the Seattle Seahawks in round 1, a Seattle team that's going to possibly be the second best record wise in the division, as I've got the Rams as the 1 seed. way, way, way too early. I said coming into the season, or a lot could change, training camp, etc., preseason injuries. I've got the 49ers, the Giants, and the Eagles, and possibly the Packers fighting for the final two spots. And I've got the 49ers and the Giants claiming them.
I can roll with that, dude. I have Dallas winning the division also. And I have
think
the Giants
Dallas is still a little better than us if I'm just being completely humble. But just because they're better than us today doesn't mean anything as the season moves along. I refuse to count the 49ers out regardless of injuries because Kyle Shanahan has earned my respect over the years, and I think Brock Purdy is a lot more than a game manager. I love the Mike Evans pickup for them. I think Pearsall's finally going to get his feet wet in a higher frequency now that Ayuk has made a complete ass out of himself with the organization. And I think Christian McCaffrey is do-it-all running back that's going to have another monster year and possibly lead all fantasy players in points, including quarterbacks, as he did last year, which was very impressive. I also love DJ Moore to the Bills. I think he's going to cook with Josh Allen, and I think A.J. Brown's going to cook with Drake May.
I do too.
I also like the Romeo Doubs pickup for New England.
Yeah, I think with A.J. Brown, I think he's where he needs to be. I think because now he knows he's not really competing. He knows he's going to get the ball, young quarterback. I think he's where he needs to be. He's in an organization that builds, And this is my dark horse
to lead the NFL in rushing yards is Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame, the less marketed running back, because obviously he played second fiddle with the Irish to Jeremiah Love. But behind that Seattle O-line and the way they like to run the rock, now granted, you're also going to get a contribution from Charbonnet. But Charbonnet's role doesn't really change in my estimation.
I don't think so.
He's still the backup.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it changes much either. We'll see, man. I think, God, I can't wait for football season, dude. This is
yeah, this is going to be
talk about, dude.
Yeah, and as the show continues to grow, I'm stoked. I do want to let Lewis in here and back it up a little with some baseball. Diehard Yankee fan, also the best barber in Orlando. Check out J&L Barbershop. We're going to work it out, but Lewis will eventually be our sponsor. I want Lewis to put together a good video so we can put his place on full display. Been going to this guy for well over a decade. He even used to cut my dad's hair. Lewis is a great guy. As far as the Yankees go, Lewis, what do we need? We talk about it enough when I'm sitting in your chair. You feel that we could use an upgrade in the infield, and we're getting a fresh look firsthand at C.J. Abrams in this series. Could he potentially be a Bronx Bomber at the deadline? We also wouldn't mind having a catcher. There's a particular catcher in Colorado who I'm very fond of that's approaching the 30 home run plateau. So get at us in the comments, Lewis, if you're able to. Oh, you might be working right now. But, just addressing you because I know that you are a baseball guy first and a baseball guy always. We're going to keep it on football for a second. Oh, he goes Shed with another comment. If the 49ers make the playoffs, I'd be happy. That division is tough, no doubt about that. Niners are always plagued by injuries, but if they remain healthy, they should be competitive. Shed, this is my opinion. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to sweep you. I think you split with the Rams, and I think you sweep the Cardinals, which puts you at 3-3 in your division. How you fare against the AFC is actually going to be very vital to whether or not you guys have the proper win total. But personally, I think you guys are going to be either the 6 or the 7. I got my Giants sneaking in as a 6, barely ahead of you. And that has, in my opinion, some to do with my belief that the Giants are going to do better in their division than they have in previous years. I think this is the year where the Giants finally win a game in Philly. I don't know if we take one from the Cowboys, but I definitely think we sweep Washington. I think the Giants should, at minimum, have 3 divisional wins. I'll be in the building for week 1, so I'm hoping that if we do beat the Cowboys, it's that game. We haven't won in Dallas in a while. Should have won last year in Dallas, were it not for some defensive ineptitude.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have beat the brakes off them last year.
Russell Wilson, his last great game of his career. Every jock has one great game left. That was his, unfortunately.
That was his.
And it's a wild stat. Russell Wilson threw for about 500 yards. He gets beat. Phil Simms threw for 500 yards against the Bengals. He got beat. Tom Brady threw for 500 yards in the Super Bowl. He got beat.
Yeah.
You never know.
Never know. You never know, man.
But in the AFC, I like – this is way too early. I just want to keep reiterating. Way too early. I could change my mind. I like Pittsburgh in the North. To Shed's point, the defense does have to play like the highest paid unit. They fell short of that last year. I like the Texans in the South. I think the most competitive race is going to be the AFC West, where you have a Chargers team that if their offensive line holds up at the tackle position health-wise, they've got a hell of a roster, and they got a hell of a coach. Shed is very familiar with their coach, as he used to coach his Niners and got them to the Super Bowl. Probably should have got them to 2 Super Bowls. You look at the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix coming off the unfortunate injury before the AFC title game. They're going to be very much in the Super Bowl picture. You got an improved Raiders team, in my opinion. They're not going to win too many games, but I think Fernando Mendoza is going to prove why Indiana believed in him and why the Raiders are believing in him. I think he's going to be a very good pro in due time. And, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs running it back possibly for one final time as we know them. I have a hard time believing they're not going to find a way in the playoffs in Travis Kelce's final year. And I still have high regard for Steve Spagnuolo. I love the Kenneth Walker pickup. I think it's a massive upgrade of what they've had over the last 4 or 5 years. He is an every down guy. And I think Rashee Rice, if he keeps his nose clean, should have a big year. So I think that division could be sending 3 teams to the playoffs as well.
No, I'm with you 100% on all that. Golly, it's just so much to talk about, man. I think with Mendoza, and the great thing about Mendoza being with the Raiders, you have Tom Brady up in the booth or up in the office.
Sure.
So I'm pretty sure he'll come down to the field and give him some tips. And I mean, hey, who else do you want tips by?
No, I'm with you, Idris. I'm with you. I think the New England Patriots are going to be a top 5 defensive unit. I know you said recently you think they take a step back. I respectfully don't share your sentiments. I mean, they could lose the division to Buffalo, but I don't necessarily think that means taking a step back, because one thing I will say is that when it comes to Buffalo and New England, I trust Mike Vrabel over what Buffalo currently has. I don't think it was the right time for Buffalo to make the coaching change.
I don't either, man.
And if they were going to do it, I think they should have brought back the hoodie.
Yeah, I don't think they – I think – because I can't put their losses on the coach. The coach can do – the coach can do with so much. You have to execute. And I've seen just mistakes made by the players where the execution was there, but drop passes and fumbles. You can't put that on the coach. I mean, I just think they got rid of him too soon, Now, I do want to mention this. The Rams are the heavy favorites to win the Super Bowl with good reason. They add Myles Garrett to an already brilliant defense. Oh, my goodness.
But this is my thing, and this is what could hold things up. Matthew Stafford is not a spring chicken, and that's a very physical division.
No.
If Matthew Stafford gets a legitimate back injury or something of that nature, could it derail them, and could they be an overpriced shit show? I wouldn't use the word shit show for sure, but they could underachieve. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Rams are going to find themselves in the title game again, possibly against the Seahawks again. Maybe even the Cowboys if they could finally get past that second round.
Don't say that.
I don't believe in Shoddy. I believe more in his father, who was another guy that just was never on the right side of history. Rest in peace, Marty. A very good person and just a great guy in the league.
Dude, you know how bad my life would turn if the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl?
Oh, I didn't say all that.
Okay, I'm just saying I don't want them to get close. My life would be in shambles, man. I'm just saying my life would be in shambles.
I picked them to win the division. Anybody that's been paying attention for the last 15 years should know that don't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, now the division, I could see them winning the division. I had them winning the division.
I don't see Philly winning it a third consecutive year. I really don't.
No, I'm talking about Dallas. I see Dallas winning the division. Yeah. Oh man, just to hear Dallas getting close, ooh, that thing right there. That sends a shiver down my spine.
For sure. Any last thoughts, Idris, before we get out of here?
Nah, just waiting for football season. We are under 90 days, ladies and gentlemen.
And because of
We are
my
almost
Facebook
there.
jail status, Idris, I'm going to need you to put together the promotional reels for our division previews. I also was thinking it would probably be a cool idea to make personalized divisional videos for each divisional preview. Brett Bandick, I understand it's hot in Florida, but you know, when you're pounding beer and cutting the grass, it makes it a little hotter as well. Hydrate and get your ass on the show. I don't want to hear it next time.
Man, if you come in my yard right quick, you will not find your way out.
Bro,
I got to cut my
I'm
grass.
going to try to get on it either Sunday or Monday. I don't have to be at my less fun job until 4 p.m. tomorrow, but I really don't want to do that before I go to my less fun job. So I'm thinking either Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to do mine tomorrow because we're supposed to have a little rain. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'll catch it like before the rain. Yeah.
For sure. But for Idris, I am Richie. Shouts out to Ryan Shedd for contributing, getting in the comments. Thank you to my man, Louis Lena. Appreciate you, boys. We'll be back. Announcements to come for our next show. Check out the shorts. There'll be plenty on the way. We out.
Yes, sir. Peace. Knicks in 5.
Oh, one last thing. Yeah. Knicks in 5.
Big Nick energy, we ain't playing nice. Kings of New York, ain't no rolling dice. Flexing on these bitches, we the real deal. Ain't no stopping us, this is how we feel. The Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the island of Queens, we ballin' hard. Fulfilling all our dreams, thugging through the hustle. Got that grit and grind in this Big Nick energy, we forever shine. So let them know we rockin'. From the garden to the booth, Knicks in the building, bringing straight up truth. With our heads held high, watch us rise and transcend. Big Nick energy, this is just the beginning.